Well, hey guys, Mr. Roden here. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Monday asynchronous day. I'm taping this on a Friday, so I usually tape my lessons on a Friday. So it's Friday for me, Monday for you, and let's take a look at what we're going to do today. All right, so right away, our learning target is I can use the basic tools of geometry. That means compass and straight edge to construct segments, angles, segment bisectors, and angle bisectors. And I think I should put a comma right here. So I'm going to edit while I talk to you guys. All right. So let's take a look at what our agenda is for today. Well, we're going to do a good thing. Notice it's singular, not plural, because hopefully you have a good thing out there, but I'm just going to share my good thing. After that, we're going to do a warm-up, and then after that, we're going to look at the homework bucket, go over the homework bucket, because I think there's some interesting things I'm changing up here, and I'll talk about that later in the homework bucket. And then we're going to be doing our Introduction to Constructions lesson. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look. Oh, my good thing. So let's do that first. Right away, my good thing is it's Friday, and I always say that. And just really looking forward to the weekend. I think the weather looks going to be a little cooler this weekend, so I'm going to get out in that cool weather, hang out with my family, and that would be pretty exciting. So really excited to start the weekend, and I hope everyone has had, in this case, a wonderful weekend. Great. So let's go ahead and start the warm-up. Okay, so I just pulled your warm-up here, and I have two problems that should look very familiar from, what was it? That would have been on Thursday's lesson. I have number one. Number one says, indicate whether each of the following names the angle correctly. And for problem two, they give you, they tell you that the measure, remember what that M means, guys? It means measure of angle JKL is 54 degrees. And they have two questions there. They say, part A, which theorem or postulate can be used to determine the measure of MKL? And what is the measure of MKL? So I want you to pause the video right now. Hit pause and then I want you to go ahead and answer these questions. And then when you come back, let's see if you got them right. Welcome back. All right, hopefully you paused it and hopefully you got them right. So let's see here. So indicate whether each of the following names the angle correctly. Okay, so does angle B, is that correct? Well, yes. Angle B is right there, so this would be absolutely a yes. Angle BNT. So BNT. No. That's wrong because remember, the vertex angle has to be in the middle, so that's no. What about TBN? TBN. Well, yes, that's correct. And what about NBT? NBT. Well, yes, that's correct also. NBT. So the only one that really isn't wrong is BNT because remember, B has to be, the point has to be in the middle. Okay, so let's take a look at number two, shall we? All right, so number two says, okay, which theorem or postulate are we using here? Well, we're using angle. So remember, here's my angle symbol, addition postulate. And what does angle addition postulate say? The sum of two angles or sum of the smaller angles always equals the big angle, or the parts equal the whole. All right? Okay, so let's go ahead. Now we want to figure out, well, what is the measure of MKL? Well, where is measure MKL? Let me go ahead and highlight that. You want my skinny highlighter here. Where's MKL? So we want to know this angle. We want to know this angle right here. We want to know that angle. What is the measure of that angle right there? Okay. Well, let's take a look here. So in order to find that angle, we need to know what x is equal to because we're going to plug x into our problem, correct? All right, so let's see here. So we're going to use angle addition postulate, and we're going to say that this angle, LKM, plus this angle, MKJ, is equal to I'm sorry, we don't want MKJ, we want MKL. So let me re-highlight that. How bad? Sorry, guys. So we want MKL. We want this angle. I'm sorry about that. Okay, but same thing, no big deal. So we know that if we take the measure of MKL and add it to the measure of angle JKM, angle addition postulate says it's going to be the entire angle. And we actually know the measure of the entire angle. The measure of the entire angle of JKL is 54 degrees. So we can write an equation here. We can say, okay, we know that 3x plus 6 is the measure of JKM plus 6x plus 12, and that's the measure of MKL. And we know when you add those up, angle addition postulate says it's going to be 54 degrees because we're given that it's 54 degrees. We had to be given that information. If we weren't given that information, there's nothing we could do, guys. Okay, so let's do some algebra here. Simple algebra. Well, let's combine like terms. I have 3x and 6x gives me 9x. I have 6 plus 12 gives me 18. And that still equals 54. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 18 from both sides. 18 from both sides. So now I get 9x equals 36 because 54 minus 18 is 36. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 9 to solve for x. You guys are pretty good at this. And you get x equals 4. Now we're not done because remember, we always want to answer the question. And the question is not what is x equal to. The question is what is the measure of angle MKL. So we need to know this measure right here. We want to know how many degrees that is. Okay, let me see if I can pull this over a little bit real quick. Sorry to see if I can pull this over a little bit. Okay, cool. All right, so now to do that, all we have to do is simply plug 4 into this expression right here because this is the expression 6x plus 12. That's the expression that is going to that is substituted in for measure MKL. So let's do that. So we have 6 times x. Now we know x is 4 plus 12. Well, what's 6 times 4? Well, 6 times 4 is 24 plus 12. What's 24 plus 12? Well, let's see here. 10 plus 24 is 34. Plus 2 more gives me 36. So we can now say that MKL, the measure of MKL, is equal to 36 degrees. So this is 36 degrees. And obviously, we could figure out the other angle, very simple, by just subtracting 36 and 54, and that would give you that one. Okay, but it didn't ask for that, so I don't think we need to do it. All right, guys. Hopefully, did you get it right? I hope you did. All right. All right. So let me go to your course really quick. So if we go into your geometry course, I want to show you something really quick. I got some emails on Thursday night, I think it was, that some students are having a hard time getting into the geometry book from the District 11 page. I have no idea why. Maybe you're putting in a wrong password, or I have no idea, guys. So I don't want to have to deal with figuring out the book website. I really don't. So what I've decided, I don't think I'm going to if you want to go into the book and you did the book, that's fine. But here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm able to just snip the problems and put them into a Schoology assignment. So don't freak out on me that you couldn't get into the book because I've got you. I'm figuring something out for you guys. All right, I got figuring something out. All right, so let's go into our homework bucket and take a look. Okay, so now in our homework bucket, I got rid of that the way I wrote it up before. So don't forget, this Delta Math is probably going to be in the book by the time you see me. So hopefully this Delta Math assignment is figured out in the book, and I'll put that into your gradebook. Now, what I did was I went through and I copied and snipped all those problems from the book into a Schoology assignment. So let me click on that and we'll see what it looks like, okay? All right, and I'll just preview it. And I want everyone to do this, okay? So now, here's how I want you to do this, okay? It's very simple. So I actually want you to go through, these are essay questions, so there's no true or false or anything like that. What I need you to do is I need you to just put your final answer in the box in each one of these, okay? So these are the problems you saw from your book. So if you did them all in your book, you're already almost done. So all I need you to do is transfer your final answers into the essay question box, okay? So each one of your answers, transfer them into the essay question boxes because this is where I want to see your answers, okay? This is where I want to see your answers in the essay question box. These are all the questions, if you were able to get on to the book site, that I asked you to do. Now, if you weren't able to get onto the book site, we'll look at there. I've posted the questions there already, okay? So these are all the questions that you would have had to do out of the book site. So if you got on, you've already seen them, you've probably done all the work, you're good to go. But I do want you to put your final answers in the essay question. Then I want everyone to email me your work, okay? So there's kind of two separate things I need you to do. I am not going to give you credit for this assignment until I see work. So I am going to go through and see that you got the correct answers. But you get a 0 on it until I see your work on this. And your work needs to come through a picture and email, okay? So that's kind of what I'm thinking about here. I think this will do well. That way we don't ever have to do the book anymore. I'm just going to snip these problems into a Schoology assignment. You can put the final answer and then you can send me your work. Again, I'm going to grade this and you get a point for each correct answer. But if I don't see work, you get 0. Okay, so 0, you can get, if you get it right and I don't have any work, I don't care. You're still going to get a 0. So I need you to show me your work. So again, I know I'm repeating myself here, but I want to make clear of this. Do the work, put the answer in Schoology. Your final grade is going to come from, did you get the answer correct? But before I grade this, I will not grade it and I will give you a 0 until I have your work emailed to me because I need your work. Now, some of these are going to require very little work, okay? This one right here, name this angle here. I think we can skip the work on this one. Let me just go through this really quick because I'm sorry, I don't mean to ramble here. But this one, you're just naming it, so I don't need to see any work on 1, okay? Number 2, I don't need to see any work on number 2, okay? So these are not work problems. Number 3, I don't need to see any work on number 3 because you're just reading this protractor, okay? There's nothing to do there as far as work. Number 4, I must see your work. If you don't show me your work, you're not getting credit. Number 5, I must see your work. If you don't show me any work on 5, I'm not giving you any credit. Number 6, I must see your work. Okay? If I don't see any work on 6, I'm not giving you any credit. Number 7, I need to see your work because there's work to be done in number 7. All right? All right. So that, and on 7, you can just say A. You can just type in like A and then yes or no. B, yes or no. I'm fine with that because I know this is not actually a multiple choice question. This is just a snip. So just give me like A, yes, B, no, A, C, yes, whatever that is, okay? But I need to see work there because this was going to require your work. So let's review that one more time. I know I'm rambling, but I want this to be clear. 4, 5, 6, 7, I need to see work. The other ones, you can just put the answer. I won't look for work. I won't grade it until I see your work. Okay, sound good? All right, let me pause this and let's take a look at the lesson for today. Now, for lesson today, we're going to talk about constructions, okay? And when we talk about constructions, before we get started, I want to show you a really cool website that I found because a construction is going to use 2 tools. They're going to use a tool called a straight edge, which just makes a straight line. It doesn't measure it. And notice I didn't say a ruler. I said straight edge. And you can use a ruler as a straight edge. You can use anything as a straight edge that can form a straight line. And also a compass. Now, I'm not talking about a compass that you can find directions if you get lost in the wilderness or a compass on your iPhone. I'm talking about a compass, and I'll show you what that looks like in geometry. And those are the two basic tools that we use to do something called constructions. But before I get in kind of to what a construction is and things, I want to show you a really cool website that I found, because I can't give you a compass. I can't give you a straight edge. Normally, if this was pre 2020, if it's back in 2019, we would sit down as a class and we'd actually kind of manipulate the actual straight edges and things together. So my mind gets running on these things. I actually went and showed, okay, so here's what a compass looks like. This is what you would do, if you can see that. This is a compass you would have used in the good old days when we were able to share each other's tools and things like that. So this is a compass, and this, a lot of kids will call it like a circle maker tool or something. And then obviously a straight edge. Now, a straight edge is a ruler as long as you're not really measuring with it. We will measure with things because we can check through measurement, but really we just need that straight edge to make those nice straight lines with, okay? So those are the two tools of geometry. But I don't expect you to go out and get them or anything like that. If you click on this geometry tools, and it's just at the very, very bottom of your, what do you call it? Your Schoology page, your front Schoology page. It's not in your homework bucket. It's at the very bottom, just the regular front page. Then we can actually pull some stuff up. Now, there's a lot of cool things. Now, this right here, that's a ruler, right? So what we would want to do is, a ruler is a measuring device, but if we hit the line maker tool, then we can make a line, a straight edge. So we can use it as a straight edge. So that's pretty cool right there. We can make a straight line with this. And this is just on that link, and you can just play around with it. Also, we can, that's cool because you can draw right on it. I won't even, and then here's our compass, right? This is the kind of what it looked like. This is what a compass looks like, just their little compass. Now let me show you let me just play with it a little and just show you some things with the compass. If you just hit the compass one time on this black part of the handle, just hit it one time, it'll just make a dot for you, okay? It'll just make one dot where the pointer is. It marks your pointer dot. Now, if you just want to move the compass away and not mess with it, you just hit the little hand on the left and you grab it and you can just move it. It won't write or anything like that. It just looks like that. Okay, see that? Now, if you want to open up the compass wide, you just go to the right side. Notice it's not locked right now. It's unlocked. And then you can move your compass around. You can switch it around. You go up and down, whatever you want to do, right? And then what you can do is, if you want to actually draw a line, you probably get to where you want to do it. So you can lock your compass, or you want to draw a circle. And then this is pretty cool. You can go around and you can draw a nice circle here. Okay, see that? And it's nice because the ones you would use in real life are really hard to manipulate with your fingers and stuff, and they slip and things like that. But on a computer, it's just going to do it exactly right. And then you can move it aside, and you can see we have a nice circle here. See that? Pretty cool, huh? Awesome. All right. So with that being said, what I need you to do is, I want you to go to that website, and I just want you to play around with stuff. I just want you to manipulate the things I want you to manipulate. I want you to manipulate the straight edge and draw some lines. Okay. It looks like the lines, it's kind of, there's other things I would like to be able to do, is like put the lines at different angles and stuff like that. If you want to do a line that's not, I don't know, maybe you guys will play with it. I can't see how to take it at an angle. If you want to make a line that's not horizontal, it looks like you can hit this. This is a line maker tool, and you can make a diagonal line or whatever like that. And then you can also put the protractor up there, and you can measure angles, and we'll do all that stuff. And then when you're done, you can just clear it out. And see, that's pretty cool. And so we have our tools. Now remember, in geometry, our tools are not a protractor. A protractor is a measuring device. A measuring device is not a construction tool. It's something we can check to see if we constructed it right, but it's not a measuring tool. So the measuring tools are compasses and straight edges, all right? So, well, that's kind of cool. You can flip it around. So go ahead and play with this, and I'm going to pause the video now, play, go to the site, and then just kind of have fun with it. Get used to manipulating your compass and things like that. And we'll come back, and then I'll show you a couple basic constructions. Okay? Awesome. Okay, so the first basic construction is actually, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be given a line segment, okay? So let's say I have this line segment right here, okay? And then I'm given a ray up here, and I'm going to call it a ray. I'm just going to say it's a random ray, and it'll go on forever. And this pen is not super great, so let me just get rid of this really quick. And let's say we have this ray. It looks like that. And we're going to say it has an endpoint here of, I don't know, let's say C. And then let's say we have, this is A here, this is endpoint A, and this is endpoint B right here. And it's kind of hard to write with this mouse like that. So sorry, it's messy. And so let's say we want to reconstruct a segment AB using ray ray C. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to actually move ray C down a little, because you won't be able, if it gets up here, you won't be able to see the compass. So I'm going to move that down on a pause video. It doesn't really matter how long ray C is, because we're just going to take a part of it anyways. So let me move that down really quick. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to put my needle, my pointer, on point A. And then I'm going to open my compass up. Why is it spinning around so much? I don't like that. I'm going to open my compass up. Oh, it's locked. See, I need to unlock it. Okay, I'm going to open my compass up so the pencil goes on B. And then I'm going to lock my compass, okay, so I don't want it to move. Now I'm going to change the color just so we can see. I'm going to change the color to red. So then I'm going to take it, and I'm not going to make a full circle. I'm just going to grab this little handle right here, and I'm just going to make an arc, just like that, just a little bit of an arc. And then I'm going to grab the left side, and I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to put my pointer on C, and then I'm going to make just about the same size arc, just like that. And then I'm going to move mine away. Now, I'm going to call this point, I'm going to call that point D right there, okay? Now, the question is AC just as long, AB and CD, are they the same measure? If they are, then what we've done is we've constructed a congruent segment. So let's see if they're congruent. If they're congruent, they'll have the same measure. So here it looks like we're just a little over 5 centimeters, so 5.2 centimeters. And let's move that up here, and it looks like we're about 5.2 centimeters also. So we can now say that this segment right here, and this is how we mark it, is congruent to this segment because they have the same measure. Now, when I'm saying this segment, I'm not talking about any of this part of ray C. I'm only talking about the segment C to D and A to B. They're congruent. And notice how I kind of mark them with a slash. In geometry, that's a symbol on how we mark congruent segments. Okay? So what I want you to do now is I'm going to put, let me clear the screen here. First of all, I want you to draw, and probably do it at the bottom, draw me a segment that is, let me change the color here. Draw me a segment that's, let's say that is 7 centimeters long. Okay, so I want you to just draw a segment 7 centimeters long. You don't have to write this down. You don't have to take a picture. We're just practicing on our own, right? And then what I want you to do is I want you to come up here just a little bit. Don't go too far up. And then draw me a ray, just draw me a ray the whole length of the ruler, okay, even though you're not going to use the whole ray. And then just hit your pen and then just put a little arrow on the end to show it's a ray. And let's call this point here E and F. So EF, we know, is 7 centimeters long because we measured it. And then just come up here and just call this ray T. So just put a little point at the end and call it T. Okay, this pen doesn't work very good. I don't like it, and so your job is to construct EF up here on ray T, or a segment that's congruent. So go ahead and do that right now, and pause. All right. So what you would do is you'd come down here. No, let me undo that. We'd unlock our compass so we can move it. I'm just going to measure. I'm going to put a little dot on the end of E, so I'll just hit one time. And maybe I'll come over here and move it over here and put a dot there. Hit that just one time to put a dot. And then I'll come over here. Remember, my compass is unlocked, so I can stretch it out. So I stretch it from the distance from E to F. Now I'm going to lock my compass. I'm going to move it up, okay, to T. Maybe I'll hit the point one time to get a point. And then I just like to change the color, maybe to red. And then, before I do that, I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to undo that because I didn't want to do that. I'm going to bring my compass back down. I'm going to measure it on the right. I'm going to adjust it. I'm going to unlock it because I want it back to where it was, just like that. Now, I forgot to put an arc, right? So now I'm going to go ahead and put an arc here, just like that. And then I'm going to move it up here. I'm going to lock my compass. And then I'm going to move it up here. I'm going to put my needle on T. And then I'm going to go ahead and make an arc at the same distance that it's locked. Now, how do I know I did it right? Well, I've already know that this segment is 7. So that's about 7 if I drew it right. And if I come up here and measure it, that's also about 7. So looks like I did it. And I have just constructed a congruent segment. Okay? All right. So I think I'm going to end there, and then I will pick up constructing. I don't want to make this lesson too long, and I think it's getting a little bit longer. So what I need you, so I just want you to play around with this. I don't want you to be an expert, but when we get to our lesson on Tuesday, I want you to be ready to go with this stuff. When I call on you, I expect that you can manipulate this tool, go to this website, and that's how I'll know if you actually did it. Because when I call on you, you should be able to be very proficient with this, because I'm going to have you guys do some things, and I may give an opportunity for extra credit on Tuesday if you can actually follow along and do this. Okay, so what I need you to do is, for the rest of the period now, just play around. I want you to just get really good at moving the compass around. Let me just clear the screen. I'm just going to show you. I want you to get very good at moving the compass around. I want you to get very good at making arcs. I want you to get good at being able to stretch and shrink the compass to match. I want you to be able to be good at making a line with the line maker tool diagonally. I want you to be good at making a line using the straight edge. And I also want you to be good at, what else do I want you to be good at? Changing the color, that's easy. We can change the line size, that's no worries. Is there anything else? Oh, get your protractor out and maybe construct an angle and be able to, if we have an angle like this, be able to take your protractor and turn it around and measure the angle also. So those are all things I need you to do. So I would spend about 10 to 15 minutes just getting really good with this website, okay? It's just on the front page of your geometry at the link, and be ready to go. And we'll see you on tomorrow, because it's Monday. It's Friday for me. It's Monday for you. And tomorrow we're all going to get together and we're going to do some constructions. We're going to practice the segment thing, and then we're going to move on to angles and angle bisectors. But I just don't want to make this video so long. Guys, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.